It's the hot show, and I don't know how it's gonna go. It's the hot show, and I can't guess what's gonna happen next. So come on and join in. Let's do the hot show. Hello and welcome to the Hot Show. I am your host, Hot the Cat. And joined. Hi, Ryan. I'm joined today by Rhine. Welcome, Ryan. And also we've got Skunky Beaumont joining us.
It's good to be here, Hot.
Getting started real smooth here. Okay, there we go. Yeah. How you both doing? Or how are you each doing, I guess? You don't have to answer together.
3, 2, 1. Fine.
Well, I'd like to know what things overlap in how we're doing. You know?
Did you have surgery a week ago?
No.
Okay, so we don't overlap there.
Oh heck.
I personally am, besides being named hot, I am also feeling rather warm. Are either of you feeling warm?
It was pretty warm here, though I'm down in the basement, which is quite cool.
Yeah, I am in my parents' basement right now, and it's lovely. It's so cold. I love it.
So you are both overlapping on your coolness.
Wow. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
In temperature and general vibe. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just negated that entire thing with that. Yeah, I was sitting in my apartment this morning, just sweating, just from existing, just like dripping sweat, miserable.
You know, I was telling somebody how when it comes to like hot weather, I kind of like that experience as long as I don't have to like mow or anything and you'd be active. Like I very much enjoy just sitting outside, hot, humid, having a schwitz is very nice for me.
I do like that, but I like having the option of being able to go inside and have a reprieve and cool off and take a shower. I mean, like I'm literally like this is the third shirt I'm wearing today, so I sweat through the other two. So,
wow.
How's your shower pressure?
The pressure I put on it, or the pressure it puts on me?
I mean, both, I guess, really.
Okay. So I don't give it too hard of a time. It does its job. No, the water pressure's fine. This is not a shower issue. This is not a hygiene issue. This is a lack of AC in my apartment issue that will hopefully be fixed soon.
Getting word of some strangeness going on in the technical side, but while I'm going to be dealing with that, I'm going to bring on, we have another friend here, Max. Welcome.
Hello.
Max.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I've been a little sick, but I'm generally feeling pretty good today.
Well, that's good.
I'm like coming out of being sick, which is such a great feeling. The
Can you breathe through both nostrils?
I can.
Man.
Can you breathe through any other orifices?
Yeah, I can breathe through my mouth.
Didn't think of that, did you?
Forgot about that one.
Max, how's your shower pressure, buddy?
Pretty good. Why do you
Oh,
ask?
we were talking about that earlier before you're here.
Mm.
Do you think that?
Oh.
Do you put a lot of pressure on your shower though?
No. I actually have mostly been taking baths.
Oh. Did you ever get down with a bubble bath?
I haven't for a long time, but maybe I should.
Max, did you lose a lot of money in the stock market recently? It's just
No.
that your background is less extravagant than usual.
Because it's blurry.
No, well, usually your background is more in focused and a mansion. So I'm wondering what happened to your living situation.
It's just because I blurred it. If I turn it off like that, see?
oh wow. What a difference
Yeah.
on blurring makes.
Yeah, really.
Incredible.
It's amazing.
Can I just see that again real quick?
Sure.
If you don't mind showing up.
I understand if you're a little wow. It's just the incredible, like the deep focus, like it really, like right now I really can't make out that piano over your right shoulder. But
yeah, it's right here.
But yeah, okay, I'm getting it now. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, digital technology is just incredible these days.
You don't say.
I did say.
How's your shower? How's your shower pressure?
It's good. No complaints.
Cats take showers?
This cat does.
Ooh.
Why?
Because this cat sweats more than most cats. And it's good for that. I had a dream not that long ago that Otter found like this hot spring in the basement of the place that I was in, and he loved it. He was just kind of sitting there with his only his like little face poking out, and the rest of him just in just enjoying the warmth of the hot spring. Never seen a cat do that, but there he was.
Hey, where is Otter?
I don't know. He was probably eating because he was just fed. He's been spending a lot of today under the couch because I think it's the coolest spot in the house.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Technical issues. Can you?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Did you want to hear the rest of that sentence? Or did you just want to agree to it without knowing?
I'm down. Let's
Right.
get weird.
Well, my question was, can you fill some time while I deal with a technical issue? In whatever way you see fit.
Wow. Did not expect that. You are subterranean.
That's not what I want.
Fish cam. Fish time. Have you named them?
Nope.
Are you planning on eating them?
Nope.
Are
No,
you
we-
planning on naming them?
Nope.
Why not?
Do you have any plans for these fish?
Are they planning on eating you?
You know what? If that's the way these things go, then so be it. They have, through the course of the years, eaten some tank mates. It happens.
Would you say your efforts to name them are floundering?
I would not.
Okay, got it.
Would you say they're going swimmingly?
It's it's going pretty swimmingly. Yes.
Your efforts to name them?
No, I have no. It's like they they don't live tremendously long, so I try not to get too attached. And I mean, they don't sleep in my bed or anything, so
What are you talking about?
so I guess that's for me. That's kind of the breakdown of like, do I physically interact with a critter, whether it gets a name or not.
It's a pretty good sized tank.
It's 20 gallon, 29 gallon. I don't really recall. I have probably 1,000 snails in here right now in the tank. Most of them are under the gravel. I knocked them all off the side, and I'm considering getting a fish that will eat them.
Did you purposely get snails?
No, they. I think that these snails, they have kind of like a ice cream cone shaped shell, and there must have been just one that came in on a plant or something when I had my tank planted for a while, and they reproduce like crazy, and there's probably 1,000 now, and they're starting to get in the way, and I don't want to be the one that murders them, so I'm gonna get maybe a yo-yo load.
Do you think that if you had to be the one to murder them, you would be interacting with them and then you would have to name them?
I don't think so. I would probably throw a handful of pennies in there and let it do the thing.
Do what?
Copper kills invertebrates.
Huh.
All of them?
Most of them. Most invertebrates, copper will kill them.
Huh.
Paper covers rock. Copper kills invertebrates.
Correct. So what kills copper?
Oxygen.
I don't know.
Oxidization.
Copper's pretty hardy as far as metals. It doesn't oxidize other than it gets bare degree. It turns green, but you can clean that off. It doesn't degrade the surface. It's that's why it's very expensive. It's a semi-precious metal. Very valuable. That's why it's used in plumbing.
I wonder what I feel like without a third thing on this. It really doesn't work as a rock, paper, scissors situation.
Well, let's think of one.
Yeah.
What can invertebrates be?
They like to eat algae. I can tell you that.
Hey, is that otter?
It's otter.
Oh, look at that.
Where'd you get that music?
Places?
What places?
YouTube?
Oh.
Otter hanging out with his comfort blanket there.
Do you know it from somewhere?
It's very quintessential for that kind of video.
Yeah, it's a strong choice.
It's iconic, music.
Thought it was a good choice.
I agree. How did you search for it?
I think let's see what my search history is.
Oh, you might not want to look at that.
Let's go through Rhine's search history.
Yeah,
that would be a good hot show. Is everyone share their search history?
Yeah, why don't you share your screen while you look through it?
I mean, it's just YouTube search history, so nothing too juicy.
Hot, I can tell you have shorts on. I was always under the impression that your hot suit was a little bit more like jammies.
I'll tell you a secret. There are two hot suits. One is reserved for when I am very warm, because, as you might guess, a full cat fursuit, very warm. A very warm thing.
I would never have guessed.
Well, I'm giving you a hint.
I love learning these production secrets.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yes.
The TV show where they watch crappy movies and they just talk over them and are obnoxious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just learned that there's a robot named Tom Servo, and he's got a head made out of like a gumball machine, which is obviously clear. And I just learned that there's at least two Tom Servos. One has the gumball head painted black for when they're in front of the screen, and then the others for the rest of the time.
What's it painted for the rest of the time?
It's clear.
Oh,
It's a gumball machine.
Clever.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that anyone feels like doing today? I didn't really come in with very many plans. Been, as I said, sick the last little bit. So I didn't really have anything much planned. I did have this thought that we could maybe explore the night cafe a little bit, which is an interesting, weird thing to do.
What's that?
The best way to probably tell you is to show you. Oh, here, let me get it set up a little bit better. Doo-boo. Okay. So, the best thing to probably do is do this. Oh, this is weird. So you type in some text, and then you, I guess, choose one of these options. This thing is new. This choose a style. This is a new thing. I had never seen this before. But then you can kind of get an AI created image of whatever you want.
I've used a website like that has the style choice, and I thought that was pretty new.
Can I make a text request?
Of course.
Phil Collins bodysuit.
All right. And what style are you interested in? Oil painting?
Rococo.
Where's Rococo?
Yeah, I defer to these gentlemen.
Is there Rococo here?
I don't know.
Rococo Beach.
Number 10.
Yes, number 10. So
charcoal
looks like
charcoal.
Charcuterie.
That's what I was just thinking of saying. Our brains are linked
so
up now.
It'll take a little bit of time, but you can kind of see it developing here. Your song was too short.
Now we're getting somewhere.
You know, as far as this image and it appearing and developing, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
There you go.
Wow.
It has happened.
That hair.
What happens when you click evolve this creation? And we add the word?
I mean, we can try it. It generally, what happens is it just kind of. Well,
okay, so for prompts 2, I want it to be chocolate hoarder desires.
Charcoal? You want to keep charcoal?
It's a good aesthetic.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Artistic. Yep. That's the one. Yeah. And let's go. Let's see what happens. Sometimes it takes a minute to get going.
Don't we all?
Oh, getting some color in there.
That's weird.
I think it's from the chocolate.
But it's charcoal, right?
Yeah, I think maybe this having 2 prompts and an artistic style is kind of... Who knows how this thing works? It's the Night Cafe. You are getting a little more definition in that face, though, for sure.
Yeah. It's the chocolate. Chocolate gives you better skin. Everyone knows that.
Really?
Next hand that just kind of came out of the side.
Yeah. Look at that. This is cool. Pretty abstract.
What if we start with one that's just one word and continue to add more words to it?
That sounds nice.
So, did we just make an NFT? Is that what we did?
I don't know.
I think you need a little bit more than that.
So if we kept going.
Well, no. I think that you have to do some other stuff to get to make it into an NFT.
Oh. Well, I don't know how to do that. I still, even though we have discussed it with Skunky, as I remember, what NFTs are. I still don't understand, and it's okay.
It's dumb.
So we want to start a new one. You want to?
I must be going, unfortunately. But
Do you want to give us a word before you get going, so we can start on a new word?
I'm gonna say bulgogi beef hurricane.
Great. Well, thanks so much for
On
being
that
here.
note, yeah.
Have a wonderful night.
Have a
Pleasure to
nice
see
night.
all of you, as always.
Right
Toodaloo.
back at you.
So, bulgogi beef hurricane, is that what?
I believe so.
Right.
Not my favorite tropical drink.
What is bulgogi?
I think it's
It's a
Korean.
kind of Korean style beef. I actually had some tonight.
Oh, how was it?
I mean, it's great. I have it almost every Thursday. Okay, what style are we thinking? I'd also like to throw this to our
Goulash.
chatters. I think we're gonna have to. Oh yeah, we could.
Yeah, we could do goulash, I think. That's a great idea.
All right. Let's see what happens on the bulgogi beef hurricane. Bulgogi beef hurricane. Ooh, getting some different color in here. Oh, I think it's making raw beef.
I like this.
To me, it looks a lot. Oh, never mind.
Definitely changed a lot in that jump. All right. You want to continue with this, or would you like to start something new?
Add something to it.
Okay. Got a bulgogi beef.
Like measles.
I don't know. I don't know if I like where this is going.
With straw.
I wonder what kind of straw it's gonna get. Gouache is still.
Yeah, maybe it'll be better to keep it in the stain. Oh wait, no, because last time we did, and it actually totally messed it up.
Well, I don't know that it really, like, in my experience, the evolving doesn't change it significantly, but it does obviously change it. Like, you could see the difference between like the first image of Phil Collins' bodysuit and the evolved from that was like giving more definition, but not necessarily changing the image significantly.
Yeah, it was definitely different, but didn't really do that much.
You want gouache still?
I don't know.
Stay the course.
I don't know if it even matters.
Nothing matters.
Some things matter more than other things.
Such as bulgogi beef hurricane. That bulgogi beef is not looking so good. Yeah, it definitely looks like mold is growing on it.
I think that's chives.
I don't know, the blue stuff?
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought you were talking about the green stuff.
All right. Got some new nightmare fuel going.
Yep. Yes, I agree, Amy.
What if we try try it again? Like evolving it again.
The same thing. Let's check it out. Same ones?
Yeah.
Stay the course?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you could just keep adding new prompts.
All right. Measles are coming in a little stronger now. No, I think that chive is kind of turning into a straw.
Oh, wow. It does look like that.
This is such a disturbing image.
Make sure you save it.
Yeah, it saves them all.
Where?
That you can see the
Oh,
evolution.
you have like an
Wait,
account?
can you go back to that third iteration when it was brewing? Like earlier at the never mind. Forget about it.
I mean, I can go to any iteration at any point if you are so inclined.
I'm not that inclined. It was a whim, passing whim.
Yeah, I understand. Great. I think maybe I'd like to get away from the bulgogi beef hurricane. At first it kind of had some like appealing qualities to it. Quickly, very much not appealing.
Yeah. It's like an old Tupperware.
Yeah.
It looks more abstract now than it did at first.
It does have more hurricane qualities than it started off with, though, which I do enjoy.
Whoa. How about we all add one word?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could start with we could start, and then also maybe we could get Amy in the chat to also add a word.
They can add a word.
Um,
because it doesn't just have to be 3 words. Technically, I think it could be as many words as you want it to be.
Yeah,
all the words then.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
All the words. Pick out. So while this one is going, let's think of some words.
Chunklet.
Chunklet. Hey, you and Rhine, both getting some things that have
what? Yes. That have what?
That have a real like disturbing quality in image form. Like I don't imagine.
think that chunklet is going to be disturbing. I mean, it could be, but it shouldn't be.
And Amy, just put a single word in the chat. Any word you want. Just type a single word in the chat.
Don't let Dan tell you, or don't let Hot tell you what to do.
I mean, it's really just in response to this.
I'm just joking.
So, I think there are a lot of things that could be said about this image that just happened.
I like it.
It kind of looks like, to me, like people are taking a bath in a pile of books.
I could see that. To me, it looked like people were like sitting or laying on a pile of books like a chair, and then they're in a giant library with a ton of books or papers or something like that.
Let's see. Flabbergasted. And to your question before that, no, it does not have to be a word that is disturbing, has a disturbing quality in image form. I actually would probably prefer that it didn't, but uh, it it has come up a few times.
I again want to reiterate that chunklet is not disturbing.
Now, do you want to do them together like this?
Yeah.
Skunky, you got a word for us?
Baloney.
Do you think that should go between flabbergasted and chunklet?
You're driving.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're really staying on the meat subject.
Yeah, we are. Okay, I'm gonna choose not to add a word to that, and instead I'm gonna choose the style.
Yeah, you can do that.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with some fantasy. Are you having some bologna?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not eating anything.
Is it a would you say it's a flabbergasted bologna chunklet?
Well, now that I know what a flabbergasted bologna chunklet is or looks like, I would say no.
And I will say I feel like the fantasy aspect of it kind of came in a lot more than I expected.
Yeah, they
Is that a
really added
giant
a lot of
smoky
fantasy
baby?
elements. What?
Is that a giant smoky baby?
It looks kind of like a giant, smoky, deformed baby.
Is that an eye kind of down at the bottom of it?
I hope so.
Uh, uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Also, thanks for this, Amy. Yeah, great. Do you wanna stay in this world, or do you wanna bid the night cafe adieu?
I could go for either.
How about you, Skunky? What's your vote here?
Jump ship.
Let's get out of here. Well, that was an interesting delve into your minds.
Oh, our minds, not yours.
No, it was my mind too. And the mind of a computer algorithm.
I don't know if you can call it a mind.
Yeah, That's fair. I'm not really going to argue that.
Good.
You might, there's some idea that I have that like to be an interesting like thing, you'd have like strong opinions that would be like an interesting show or something. You kind of have strong opinions that would go against each other and stuff. But I'm not really feeling that way.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people don't really like watching other people argue anyway.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't like arguing. Especially when they're tired and grumpy like I am right now.
What's got you grumpy, Max?
Yeah.
Just being tired.
No. Little crankers. Need a nap?
Yeah, like a 12-hour nap or at least an 8-hour nap.
Mm.
Then I'll feel better.
So I was talking with a friend today or yesterday, and we were discussing the topic of things that were things that people wish that school taught them. And, he came up with a list that he sent me, and I pointed out how school hasn't really, or that these things were traditionally taught like in the family unit, and
Right.
how school hasn't caught up with the speed of society. Do you guys feel like there's anything that you wish was taught to you in school that wasn't?
I mean, yeah, but I really do agree with your statement. And also, I think sometimes things are taught in school, but people just didn't pay any attention to it, or they didn't take the class that would have, done it. I think that a lot of the time when people complain about that, they just want to complain about school.
Yeah.
Like I took like my school, I had to take classes that taught basic things like how to use a checkbook, but also it's like, well, people complain, I don't need to do this, I don't need to know this, I'm not going to use a checkbook. Or basic civics, my school taught that because well, you guys know in Illinois you have to pass like a constitution test, right?
Yeah, I passed it.
Right. You have to, or you can't graduate. But like
I graduated.
Like, I mean, that's kind of important to know basically how your government works, but a lot of people didn't take it seriously. I guess my thing is, I think that the majority of people who complain about that probably wouldn't have taken it seriously if it was taught in school. So I think it's just kind of like BS. Like, they're just complaining about school. Like, basically, I guess it's like they're saying school doesn't teach us anything useful or interesting, so it sucks. But I think they would have thought that no matter what school taught them.
It's hard to get smart enough to realize how dumb you are.
Yeah, Dunning-Kruger effect. But I do think that school could teach some more useful things and be more current. And I guess it's kind of hard to keep it updated and like things change, but I do think that there could be more work put into it. And I also think that teaching methods could really be improved. Like every class doesn't always need to be in a classroom. I know that doesn't always work for everybody, and everybody has different learning styles, and there are better ways to teach things like with a more hands-on type of teaching. So I do think that there is definitely some validity to it. I just think it gets a little old to hear people complain about it when I remember in school people would also just complain about everything when we were in school and say it wasn't useful. Or another thing, people are like, we should have been learning how to use taxes or do our taxes instead of trigonometry. And it's like, school is a general education, it's supposed to like give you like a more wide ranging education. And I think it is good sometimes that you learn things that you don't necessarily think you're going to use. Like where I went to college, some people would complain like about the fact that it had general education requirements because they just wanted to get through school as fast as possible. And I think that that really misses the value of a general education. And I also really think that because if I hadn't had to take art classes, I would have just gone through school with a psychology degree. But had to take an art class, and it made me realize that my passion really was in art and the arts in general. So I think that it's very important and valuable to learn things you don't think you're going to have to use.
I really liked Metal Shop a lot. I found that to be my favorite. In hindsight, that was maybe one of my favorite courses because it was outside. It was like an outbuilding. We got to do stuff. We got to make
they really
stuff.
do. They
Got to
really
cut
need to
stuff
have more
apart.
classes like that. I definitely agree with that. Like a lot of people don't like school because they don't get the opportunity to learn in ways that aren't just being in a classroom for a long time and just
I don't
sitting there
learn very
taking
well
notes.
sitting. Yeah, I don't learn very well sitting still myself. Sitting still is really hard to absorb anything.
And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, I'm not alone.
No, you're not alone. There are dozens of you.
At least.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to come up with like specific things that school I feel that school should have taught me, but I do think that school taught me nothing about how to be in the world
Mm.
at all.
Yeah, I think
And how
that
to
could be
be
really
in
useful.
life after school.
I think the issue there is that we have like parents who will complain about anything, you know? Like
Well, what do you?
schools.
I guess what do you mean by that? Because
I
I don't feel like
mean,
I'm talking about that.
I mean that teaching
Like,
kids how to be in the world can be controversial for especially like conservative people because they get
well,
mad if you teach their kids anything that goes against what they want. So,
I mean, you can learn a non-politicized version of emotional intelligence that includes things like patience, taking turns, kindergarten stuff, really.
I
Um,
think that would be great. I think it would be very useful.
I've read it that in Japan, I think the first 2 years of school, there's no like learning as far as curriculum goes. It's more about learning how to be a person and manage your feelings and be polite, and that you have a responsibility as a person taking up space to take up space along with other people, and how to navigate that, and how to do your share in keeping your space clean and usable. And it's only in like their third year of education that they actually enter any real curriculum. Like they learn how to be a student before they actually take any information in, and it takes some time.
I think that would be so useful. And you know what? Maybe that's something they should teach in school because, like, when I was in school, I remember my dad teaching me some very basic study skills just by telling me about them. And then as I got older, I just kind of like learned more study skills, like by reading stuff. And it really helped me. But a lot of people don't know any of the study skills that I know, and it helps me a lot. Like how do you study for a test, and like what are some various different methods you can use to study for a test and retain information. And when I've tutored, that's actually one of the first things I teach people because a lot of the time that's really their challenge. Like that's what is preventing them from getting good grades, is that they just don't really know how to study.
Before we keep going in this exact direction, I I'd like to play a little song real quick. It'll be really a quick thing. No, I'm making it a lot more complicated than it should be.
Good.
Somebody's here. It's Shelton.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Oh,
I just saw your message asking if people had seen Bad Girls Club, and I don't think I have. What is
It's
it?
a terrible show. I highly recommend it.
What's
Like,
terrible about it?
It's it's obnoxious. It's nonsensical. It's a thrill ride. So that's what I'll leave you with. It's basically a ton of people. It's like my understanding of what the real world is, but like all these girls are like living in a house together, and like
when you
have
say
to, like,
the real world, you mean Real World, the TV show, not
the
the
TV
real
show.
world. What
Yeah.
Or the
happens
movie.
after
Yeah, I've never.
you leave school, as
Um,
was mentioned?
According to John Mayer, there's no such thing as the real world.
Did you go to school?
that's a
Hot?
really good
Not in the
song.
real world?
Do you?
The
Yeah,
fantasy world.
I have a gate between what you all were talking about and that John Mayer song that can bring these two topics together.
I'd love to hear it.
I was like listening to a little documentary where John Mayer was talking about like what inspired him to like write that song. It was that like he went back to his like elementary school and he just felt so big, and like, you know how like you feel like you see how little the chairs are, and like your perspective of like what was so important to you, and you what's different about that is like you leave your school and you probably never really go back there, like after you've
I go back to
graduated
my
from
grade school a
elementary
lot.
school. Huh?
I go back to my grade school a lot.
Yeah, but it's just they feel
Do they
at the very
know?
least, it feels so small,
Well,
and like
I
I don't
get
know,
older,
and
but
like
they stayed the same age.
Oh, God.
yikes.
That's horrible to say about a high school, and it's even worse to say about a grade school.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to change the
Yeah.
topic out of how weird and creepy that sounds. So, I have a list of things that I wish that I learned in school that I was thinking about that I thought you guys might find interesting and could discuss. Those three things are health insurance and how it works. I feel like I didn't learn that
Solid.
in college. I didn't learn that in like any school.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done a whole, even if it was just like a 6-week course on like how insurance works when you're an adult, and like how to choose a
Yeah.
plan, and how dental insurance works, and whether or not you should do that through your work or whether you should just get your own plan, or I don't know. So that went into my second part of my brain, which said government resources, like things that you should be able, like that you should know about that are available to you that
Like
like you
food
might not know
stamps.
about.
Government
Like,
cheese.
not necessarily, like I feel like or like government programs that like I feel like you might not know are accessible to you, that like if you make less money, or like if
Like food
you,
stamps.
well, yeah, thanks for choosing that very specific example. What I'm talking about is like loan, like there, so like FAFSA and like the loans that you can apply
Oh
for if
yeah.
you are like underprivileged, or like um ways to get like a loan for a house if you don't have a high income or stuff like that. Um Other weird things that I'm thinking about that like I didn't discover till I was an adult. Like different, like aids for like bill plans that like if you don't have enough money to pay for them that you can like apply for.
Mm.
And then they also talk about like taxes and like I don't think that I feel like when people complain like yeah obviously like we all learned how to do our or I don't know there was a required like some people took AP econ and some people took like the basics of like consumer like if your school had it like we had like a basic like consumer education class and we learned how to do our taxes and we like picked a job that we were interested in like how much money you probably would make like salary wise and like you had to budget out based on that which I thought was
We
like
didn't really have one that was like a general consumer one, but we did learn some of that in our class that was called general business, which is interesting.
Must be nice. I learned that shit on the streets.
I've been doing
Yeah.
my taxes since I was in junior high.
Wow.
What?
okay
Yep, my
well
dad.
not everybody
That's
has
my
that.
dad. He made us all start doing our taxes when we were in junior high.
Just in case you were wondering what government cheese was.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Another weird thing is like so there's like all these software programs for like doing your taxes that like the government provides for free or like they have to provide that software for free if you make less than I think it's 61K. I have to double check on that. It might be 63.
It's probably different for every state.
Well, it is different for most states, but you're federal, so you might have to do 2 different software programs in order to do it. That's something that like would be like an example of like government resources that we're not aware of. Like something that I discovered in college was like, you can. There's ways to like. There was an artist that like I was interested in, and one of his works was how to get into like every New York or like there's this insane thing where like you have to be able to provide like if you have a building of a certain like size in the city of New York, you have to provide some sort of resource for the whole public. And a lot of times they'll put it like on like the 75th floor or something like where like nobody can get to it and nobody knows about it. And I feel like that's a good way to like think about like a lot of the resources that like people can use, they just don't know about. So that's like one of the things. And then the other weird thing that I was thinking about was the basics of like how to fix crap in your house. Like, I don't know, like how to change an air filter, like stuff that like don't have like, I don't know.
A lot of really good ideas that I very much agree with.
When was the last time you changed your air filter, Max?
I don't know where it is, and I don't think
I don't even know if there is one.
Okay, Shelton, how's your water pressure?
I think it's okay.
Okay. Good.
But I did learn from the maintenance guy at my apartment when I was 19 how to adjust like how to install a shower
curtain.
No, shower head, how to install it, which like was pretty. It was way more simple than I ever would have thought, but
yeah, I had to do that one time actually. I don't really remember why, but it was actually really easy.
There's a guy, I think he's on Facebook or like Instagram, and I think it's called like How to Dad or something, and it's just like stuff that like your
I know what you're talking
dad
about.
should have taught you or something. But like sometimes you just like I don't know, you just miss certain stuff where like maybe even if you have a parent that's an expert in something, sometimes they don't teach you because they just do it for you. So like
not everyone has a dad.
And that too.
That's
I was just going to say that as well.
And
like
some people don't have moms either, and some people also don't have moms or dads.
Yeah.
So here's my furnace.
Are we gonna get
here? Yeah, why not? So you can see.
Oh yeah, I live in an apartment, so I wouldn't have any access to that.
We'll break in. Ask your landlord when they last changed the filter. So
how often do you need to change it?
It depends. How filthy are you?
Extremely. Well,
And your
define
allergen?
filthy. Like in what context?
Like, do you have pet hair? Do you live in like Oklahoma where there's a lot of dust blowing around?
I live in
it's kind of
California, and I
environmental.
think there's a lot of dust blowing around here. 'Cause my
Is there
car's
like
always-
smoke particles? Do you open your windows a lot? There's a lot of factors.
Okay.
Yeah, like
But,
are you a smoker? Or
No.
Yeah. So you'll have your cold air return duct, which goes down, and then right before where your furnace is, there'll be an easy access panel,
that's what they said.
and you just open it, and there's your air filter right there.
Wow, that looks very
Is that
different
the
from
only
other
air
filters
filter
that
you
I've
have?
seen.
Come again, Max?
Is there only one air filter?
In this unit, yes. And whenever I change my air filter, I usually grab a Sharpie and I put the date on it.
That's smart.
So then I can remember I change my air filter every 6 months.
What's the lowest amount you could change it and the highest amount?
I mean, you absolutely have to change it at least once a year. Once a year is the bare minimum.
Because if you don't, it could start a fire.
Well, if you don't, it'll start to get clogged up. It won't filter effectively, or rather, not that it won't filter effectively. It'll get plugged up, and your furnace won't get as much air flow going through it, and you'll find that your furnace cycles on and off a lot, which is way.
Huh. That's interesting.
That would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, and then annually, at least, if you have a gas dryer, especially, you should get your dryer duct opened up and vacuum it out.
Gas dryer. Oh yeah, And you should clean it out like after, possibly every time you dry clothes, because it gets clogged up very quickly.
So you've got the filter on your dryer.
Yeah.
This guy. Like Max said, you should clean that out every time you dry clothes.
It's super fire with that stuff that's in there is like very flammable.
Yeah.
Right, but then you should also, every year or 6 months or so, open up your dryer duct, get a vacuum in there, and suck that in.
Existed until just now.
Yeah. Well, I built mine with an easy Y access and a plug, so that I can clean it out.
That's clever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you?
I don't want my house to burn down. Yes.
That explains all of this knowledge. I feel like maybe just like a little. If we would name this like a class, it would be called like Homeowners 101. Like, and then including that, like maybe include like the financials of like how to buy a house and stuff.
It's not
I
as
don't know
hard
if it should be homeowners though, because then people are going to be like, I don't plan on owning a home, or I can't ever own a home, so I'm not going to.
A home can be an apartment. It can be.
But I don't.
Unless
own
you're
my
like
apartment.
determined.
Where the heart is.
Yeah.
Own it.
I mean, there's always
tell you that
one hippie kid in the class who's like, I'm gonna live in a tent and I'm gonna tour the world forever, and like, I'm excited for that kid, but also they might want to know some of this information.
I will tell you, as far as like a financial decision, there's a reason why past generations who had, a more of a tendency to maybe get married early and purchase a home early on seem to have done better financially than current generations, because it is a good investment. Most of the money that you pay in your mortgage goes into your pocket. It's your
That's
money.
true.
It's bank
But our society was also set up very differently, so it like added a lot of financial
And what if you
benefits
get a
to them.
divorce? Yeah, what
What
happens
if
if
you
you
get
get a divorce? Does someone like get
It
the home?
depends.
Yeah,
It depends.
you have to negotiate that unless you have a prenup.
It's very smart to get a prenuptial agreement, especially if you buy a home together, or if one party is a homeowner before contractual obligation of marriage happens.
Interesting.
It's good to hammer those things out.
Yeah,
But
like,
remember,
you live with someone who, like, you know, it's our home, not your home. You know.
right?
Huh?
Remember that when you think about the concept of rent, you are paying your landlord's mortgage cost plus a profit for them to be a landlord, making it
That's true.
beneficial.
That's
So you
absolutely
will
true.
save a lot of money being a
Also,
homeowner.
in some areas and situations, I've seen people like talk about how they were trying to buy a home, but they got rejected by the bank for a mortgage that would have been cheaper than they ended up paying in rent.
That's part of how our society is built.
Yeah.
It's
The people
because
who control things don't want to see the little guy build wealth. Wealth is generational.
a couple
Right.
things. When you have to, when you first move into an apartment, most of the time you have to have first and last month's rent,
Yeah.
and then sometimes first, last, and security deposit. So that's like
What a
normal
racket.
apartments.
Yeah, it is a racket. Imagine how much interest you could get out of that.
I don't
Seriously.
even know.
And they also don't like to give your deposits back. If they can try, they will rip you off.
I've
Ah,
gotten
these
mine back at
weasels.
every apartment complex.
What's that?
I said I've gotten mine back at every apartment complex, and it's because I'm excessively clean and I worked as a maid.
Well, good for you, but still, let's live low.
Yeah, like a lot of people
I'm just
have
flexing.
issues with
I don't know. I just wanted to flex on that dumb thing.
Okay.
Humble brag.
You can do that. I wouldn't call that a humble brag. More like a not humble brag.
It wasn't humble. It wasn't humble at all. I'm just.
Oh,
It was proud.
you ought to be ashamed.
I ain't too proud to be proud.
Brag. I ain't too proud to
proud
brag.
to brag. You guys know what I was doing there. Yeah. I don't know. Lots of information that I feel like I wish I would have learned in school. Also, I'm gonna add one more thing. I feel like health class didn't really do a good job about
Anything?
most things, because I feel like I will say that Max was right that a lot of the things like parents don't know about, but I feel like at some point they should do, like, once kids are like 18, 19, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that like they should have taught in school, but in health class specifically, like consent. But I feel like after, like, you know, especially like once they're 18 or whatever, they need to teach people that like that most women don't come from just like penetration. I feel like that's something that should be taught in schools.
I think that would be very controversial. Like with people who are so crazy that they think that it's wrong to tell a child that two men are married if the kid asks, like that's what we're up against, and that's, I think, the reason we don't have this kind of stuff.
I'm just saying that that's one of the first to world.
It makes sense
there yet
for that to be taught in some scenario, because that is a cause of issues for men and women, not knowing that, which is kind of crazy. I mean, technically the idea is your parents are supposed to teach you that, but they don't, as far as I know.
I don't think anybody's parents teach them that. But
I'm
there's
sure some people's parents teach them that.
Maybe. There's an episode of South Park, and that's why I thought of this, because there's an episode of South Park where the food
chef
like explains where the clitoris is to the kids, and I don't know why that's what made me think of it.
That makes me think of the episode that was kind of like parodying the kind of sex education a lot of people get, where it's just like you're going to get STDs if you have sex ever, and the kids thought that they had to wear condoms like all the time because the sex education was so vague and unhelpful.
Like all the time.
Yeah, they thought they thought they had to wear them
I
24/7.
remember that.
Well, you don't.
Nope. I just saved you a lot of money.
Yeah, I recently like read like a in light of like recent news, there was like a thread that just like listed like every like the like women listing like things that their husbands or boyfriends like thought, and one of them like was so cringe, but I like laughed so hard. It was like, my husband got mad at me because I am pregnant and I was taking a bath, and he thought that the baby breathed out of the
Oh my god!
out of the navel.
I just cannot believe how stupid some people are.
Dude, it was
Just amazes me.
and it just kept going and going and going, and I kept reading, and I was like, this is just a disaster. But that one was just like particularly funny.
I've been thinking about that actually kind of a lot lately, about how people can be smart, but at the same time, people are not smart by default. Like, people will think the most incredibly stupid things. It's just amazing to me.
That's why we rely on education.
Yeah, because people will believe anything. It's just crazy. Like,
I wish that in school they had taught me that it was okay to swallow watermelon seeds.
was that something you had an issue with?
Did you think
I mean, don't you know that if you swallow a watermelon seed, Max, that it'll grow a plant out of your mouth and also your bottom?
Well, I have heard that.
Oh my god, I love that.
You know that it will grow in your stomach, but as a joke.
It's no joke, Max. People, do you know how many people die every year from that?
0.
I thought of another thing. Sorry, I just keep thinking of more things. But I recently watched a Disney short that I highly recommend. It's called Loop, and it's a short that tells the story between two kids that are at summer camp, and one of them is on the spectrum and has difficulty with like overstimulation. And I don't know, this is what made me think of this. Like, I think that they should talk about like different, like, just like outlining what different, like, not mental, I don't want to say mental illness, but like I want to I think that they should talk about like neurodivergence in schools and
mental illness.
Yeah, I mean, like both of those things, because I feel like a lot of the times, like, there's a lot of assumptions that people make about like people that are schizophrenic or depressed or like,
and they're so dumb, and oftentimes they come directly from like movies that are totally inaccurate and like basically just sensationalize everything.
Yeah, especially like, I don't know, I recently saw Rain Man for the first time.
Oh, don't say Rain Man. No.
I know. It's like, honestly, I will say it's a good film, but it hasn't aged well because of the way that like our society like has made it to be something different. Does that make sense? Like, people assume that every single person who's
I think
they assume that a lot of people are savants, and they also don't really understand what like that means.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I don't know, I have an aunt who's like, she's mentally handicapped, and she really, like, she is one of the kindest like human beings, and her emotional intelligence is actually very high, like, and her ability to like take care of like children or babies or like anything like that, like, she knows way more than like most of us. I remember when my niece was born, she like picked up the baby, and she was like, oh, she's going to start seeing colors in a couple months, and she knew every developmental level for like babies. And I don't know, it's just, there's different things that like the way that we view intelligence and like Gardner's theory of intelligence, like has so many different kinds.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing I feel like I wish more people knew, and I didn't know till I was older, like more about like schizophrenia and like what causes it.
A lot of people think schizophrenia means having multiple personalities.
That's a
Which is
different thing.
totally right. It is a totally different thing, but a lot of people think that that's what it means.
Also, like what they call like multiple personality disorder is like actually something like totally different.
And part of the thing is
With
these names change. Like it was called multiple personality disorder for a while, but now it's called dissociative identity disorder. And manic depression isn't a real thing anymore. It's called bipolar disorder, and ADD doesn't exist anymore because it's been folded into ADHD.
Yeah.
So
I was diagnosed with ADD, and what's interesting is like also there's like a gender difference between those.
right.
Things.
I was actually just going to say that.
Yeah,
because
a lot of girls were diagnosed with ADD, and then like because they're socialized in a specific way, or shy kids were, and then like
and a lot of girls are not even diagnosed when they have it because of socialization and basically like for a long time the profile of ADHD or ADD was just only the way a boy generally would present it.
Yeah. I just feel like if in school maybe we were taught, I think that like if we were taught about that, people might be more like empathetic and understanding and helpful in situations. Like
I think so.
Like when someone's freaking out, sometimes it's like deeper than we think. Or like if you're trying to help someone who's having like, if you're like, oh, are they having a heart attack or is it a panic attack or like, you know, like just basics of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe a CPR class. Like I feel like I didn't learn that in school.
That could be really helpful.
So I feel like I keep just listing more things.
I mean, they're all really good things though. And they're like, you know, like the Heimlich maneuver too. You know, these are things that everybody would benefit if everybody knew. So I think it would be really good to
I think we learned that in my health class.
find a way.
We also
Like-
learned how to give yourself the Heimlich if you need to, if there's no one around you. Yeah, I can demonstrate. You like, well, obviously this is a terrible chair to do this in because it has wheels, but you kind of need to like if you're choking, you kind of need to like push like the air from your stomach out. So you use like this to like push it out. Oh my God, I'm gonna like barf if I do that. But like,
That's the point, right?
I mean, yeah, kinda, but it's like
I guess you're doing it right.
to get your like airflow back.
It's the barf show. And I
don't
don't know.
Oh, well, it's gonna go.
I feel like if we were doing the barf show, I would know how it's gonna go.
That's true. Like either you're barfing or you're not. It's easy to know if you're succeeding.
I'm pretty sure there's like a cable network show where like they like try to make the other person barf.
Oh, I didn't know it was real.
Oh, I have to text like a bro friend of mine that would know the answer to that. Hold momentarily. He works in YouTube.
Holding. So I am gonna say that I probably won't go too late tonight for this hot show.
Good, because I'm tired.
Same here. It's very hot in my apartment.
What's the weather like where you are?
It's like 90 degrees. Hold on.
Oh, wow, it's hot.
What's the weather like outside?
I was just outside right before the hot show started. It is gorgeous where I am. I kind of wish I was outside, but my Wi-Fi is not good there.
It was
What's the
97 as
temperature?
a high today in Chicago.
Oh my God, that's horrifying.
And my AC unit is like at my grandma's house. So.
Why?
During the winter, I put my AC unit at my grandma's house, and then I pick up my shovel and my my window scraper for my car, and then I switched them out during springtime. But it was kind of up in the air on whether or not it was going to still snow or whether we were like, I don't know. I think we're in summer now. It was just
It's really touch and go for a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So I would say that it was, without a doubt, spring. Somebody expressed to me recently the idea that it was, we skipped over spring. It was definitely spring.
There was like 4 days where I was like, wow, it's beautiful springtime weather out. Like, now it just feels like summer. It's very hot.
It's been springtime weather here on and off all winter.
You're in California, isn't it? Like nice out all the time.
It was 94 like last month though, so that was really hot. And that's why I was so shocked that it's 97 where you are, because that's even hotter, and I thought it would be hotter here.
It's hot as well. Like,
Everybody complains about the weather, but nobody does anything about it.
Can you guys see the sweat? Is there sweat on my back?
I see a 6.
There's a giant bug on your back.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there's not.
You jokester.
Nice prank, Max.
Thanks.
So I don't know why, but I drew some snakes.
You what?
I really like that.
They're all the way finished.
Nice.
It's got a yin-yang kind of look to it.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I like the colors.
Thanks. I wasn't. They were okay. I don't
They're
think
great.
Okay. Thanks.
They're fun. I enjoyed them.
What other options did you have that would have been better?
I don't know. That's why I did what I did.
Bring back that knife.
Yeah, I just wanted to share this. Maybe we should do a part on the Hot Show where I share my thrift store finds, or maybe I should make a separate Instagram for this. But look at this stupid little knife that I found. It's perfect for like cutting cheese really thinly, and it looks like a little butcher knife.
Yeah, it does. It would be perfect for cutting like those mini hot dogs.
And
You
I
cut,
can
you cut cheese with a knife?
What do you cut that with?
So I also have a cheese wire, but
Let me show you.
A cheese
This is my
wire.
thrift store find when it comes to cutting cheese.
how
This guy.
do you use that to cut cheese? I think I even have one, and I don't know how to do it.
Ooh. I wish I had a block of cheese. I'd show you a live demonstration.
Why do you
Let's
have that
find
if you don't
something
have a block of cheese?
Use something else.
Well, okay, we're gonna cut a block of tofu or something. It's kind of Mother Hubbard going on here.
Oh yeah.
I'd like
That
to
happens
talk
to
about
me.
Things I wish I learned in school.
All right, hang on.
What did you say?
There's the cheese unit. You just draw it over there.
I hate this. Please make it stop. Oh my god.
Why do you hate that?
No, I don't know. I'm overstimulated. That was horrifying, and it reminded me of Skin. Okay, make it stop. I should just look away.
That seems useful, but only if you want to cut cheese in that specific size and shape.
And that's cool. If you want to slice cheese, it's ideal. But if you want a chunk of cheese, I guess get a knife.
I don't know how I'm uncomfortable in my whole body right now.
I don't know what to say to that.
Maybe I should distract myself.
Maybe that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Start screaming and singing the national anthem.
I'm gonna go with a no on that.
So it's not much of a song, but I got check out this thrift store find.
That works.
I like it. Do you guys want to see more of like random crap that I found at the thrift store this weekend?
Yes.
I don't know if this is interesting for the viewers of the hot show, but maybe they're interested.
Check out
How many people are watching? I can't see it.
one, but I think it might be Shelton.
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm here.
hello, viewer. Welcome to the hot show. I think you've been here a little while, so
Gulliver says hello.
hello, Gulliver.
For anybody who watched the Max Oakland show, Gulliver's doing better. He had surgery.
That's
He's
good.
doing fine. Okay. My hot thrift store find this week was that I found this mini pan big enough just to make something for one person or like a date of two people where there's not an excessive amount of leftovers.
Yes.
Number 2, I found this cool Pyrex. And it's like just a good, I like the design. And it's like about the size of my hand.
Nice.
I need to find something for context of like size. Here's a pair of glasses.
You got those at a thrift store?
No, I was just pulling to see like the size of it so you can see how small it is. And it's like the perfect size for a green bean casserole. If you're not from the Midwest, that's when you put green beans, a can of mushroom, soup.
You know, as I've gotten older, I can enjoy green bean casserole, but honestly, I think that it is a crime to base recipes around cream of mushroom soup.
Get out of here. You're fired. I don't know. This is a container to put.
You're fired out of a cannon to the gulag.
And then I got a cup, and then I got a little man.
A little what?
Here's a cup collection, and I found these ones that say Chicago Bulls on it, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And if you're interested in the other cute cups that I have,
Ooh, I like those. I would love to have those. I think that's a great idea to have like a bunch of different cups. They're totally different, but they have like all have fruit on them or something.
And then here's a set of whiskey glasses, which are Frank Lloyd Wright. Not thrift store though, but it's so cool. That's this week's thrift store find.
Check out this thrift store find. This tiny butcher knife. This little tiny pan.
What does that guy do?
Hot the size of my hand. I'm playing a song here. What are you doing? Talking over me playing the song I just wrote?
It was really enjoyable. We were dancing around too.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're fired.
I think Max was perhaps playing the bass.
Okay. It's hard to hear what you were doing.
I wasn't. I was just joking.
I don't know. They used to have this at my work. They had a guy that looked like this at my work.
Wait, is that a thrift store find too?
Huh?
Was that a thrift store find too?
It was. It was $2.
It was, but it's not anymore.
Look at that guy.
I just found it this weekend. It was so cute.
Little sailor man.
I like his little grin.
Little grinning man.
It's like Mona Lisa's smile.
He looks kind of like this guy.
Kinda, yeah. Is that a thrift store find as well?
Oh yeah.
I really like that.
Thank you. It's by David Pelham, my favorite artist.
Huh. It's really cool.
What's his name?
David Pelbam, Pelbham. He painted himself as ship captains and rabbis.
Really?
Was he either of those?
No.
That makes it even more
yeah.
interesting.
Painting
Well,
yourself as things you are not? That is an interesting idea.
I wonder if ship captains of his day disliked him or liked him.
When was his day?
I think he was most active in the 1960s, 1970s.
The more you know.
So not that
Like
long ago.
10 years.
I love that topic.
Well,
I feel like I forgot something that I found at the thrift store, but if I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, is anything anyone here wants to get into before we say goodnight? I'm not in a huge rush, but if there's not really anything that anyone wants to talk about or do or anything.
Yeah, I think this is like one of those phone calls with your parents when you run out of stuff.
I never run out of stuff.
Oh.
But I also respect that other people are trying to wrap it up.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I found myself very tired at about 2 hours of the hot show recently, or any show. And I'm trying to avoid this moment that I'm just sitting here unable to put together a sentence before it happens.
That's good. I like to hear it. Taking care of yourself, Copycat. Let's encourage others to do so. That's my promo of the week. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
That's a good one.
Balance when you know you need balance.
Yeah. Like a goat up on a mountain. Oh.
And challenge when you know you need challenge.
I know we just talked about getting out of here, but I do have a little song that I just wanted to play for you all real quick. Somebody's here. It's Garbanzo.
Hello.
Hi, Garbanzo.
Hi, Garbanzo.
How's it going?
Hi.
It's going okay. We were just talking about wrapping things up.
Also taking care of yourself.
That too.
All of these things are important, I guess. Yeah.
And challenging yourself.
And listening to yourself and your body.
Yeah.
And other people.
How's your shower pressure, Garbanzo?
That's pretty good. No complaints. I'd like it a little bit stronger, but it works. How about you?
That's fine.
Just fine?
It's great. Not trying to brag.
It is?
Oh, okay.
Trying to be humble about your shower pressure.
What kind of sauce are you using there?
Trader Joe's balsamic glaze.
The packaging design made it look like it was something really fancy.
We're
It is really fancy.
Oh, I remembered the last thing that I found at the thrift store.
What was it?
Check out this thrift store find.
It's like to serve quiche and pie. And it was just so shiny and
pie.
And I also got a melon baller, but I don't know where I put that.
That looks like it would shred cheese too. Like if it were sharpened in parts of it, it would be perfect. It looked like it can shred cheese.
We just discussed that with a different object. It made me very
Interestingly,
uncomfortable.
we didn't discuss shredding cheese. We talked about slicing and we talked about chopping. We did not talk about shredding. Bringing a whole new element to this conversation.
I don't think
Do you think you're going to use your melon baller? Because you could use it to ball cheese.
Careful about the seeds, though.
Very tiny little ice cream scoops.
The seeds and cheese.
Oh, that sounds really fancy, Garbanzo. Like, can you imagine going to like a really fancy restaurant and they serve you ice cream that's been like, it's like the same amount as you would expect, but it's like small balls from a melon baller? That sounds fancy to me.
All right.
In Michelin star restaurants, they use 2 spoons and they do like this egg-shaped thing with ice cream.
They do egg-shaped? Oh.
These are the 3 other things that I found at the thrift store.
You found more things?
Yeah, this was all one weekend. I just dug in the utensils bin and I found so many cool things. This is like a thing to flip over stuff and grab stuff.
Yeah, those are. I think those are pretty necessary in the kitchen.
I don't see a garlic thumper though.
We know from previous experience that there is no such thing.
Right.
Are you?
Melon baller does work on cheese. However,
and ice cream.
Putting it on a cracker, still satisfying.
Can you make a ball of cheese?
That's what I just did. But I did like a half ball.
Yeah, no, I mean not a half ball, like a real ball.
Yeah, I'm sure that I can.
I'm gonna. The idea came up briefly of cheese seeds there. I just want to.
Like chia seeds?
I hate that. Oh, that makes me so uncomfortable.
Cheese seeds.
It is interesting to look at, however.
Wait, well, I missed it.
Gross.
I'm sorry. Let me bring it back real quick.
Close your eyes, Shelton, if you need to. Looks like there's like a fish mixed in there somehow.
Oh, I did it.
Cheese seeds.
Like chia seeds, but cheese.
What is happening there? What am I looking at?
Cheese seeds.
But where are they?
In the night cafe.
But what's the yellow part?
Cheese.
And the white bean part?
Those are cheese seeds. Like, it's like fruit. But cheese has seeds inside of it to grow more cheese.
It's like, okay.
I can tell you weren't from the Midwest.
It looked a lot like natto to me. That sticky soybean.
Have you ever had that before?
Yeah, it tastes like armpits. It's funky.
Very good.
Do you think it would taste like cheese seeds?
Probably.
Doesn't sound very good to me.
I can definitely imagine cheese seeds tasting like armpit.
Like armpit or armpit hair?
Like armpit.
Or armpit
I think the flavor is the same. That's just a textural difference.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, I think I'm gonna get to sleep. I just wanted to stop in and say hello.
Well,
that's really funny because we were actually kind of like winding down when you got on.
That's what you said. So I don't want to keep everybody.
Is there?
I'm really tired.
Is there anything anyone else would like to say to anyone who ever sees this, or to our one current viewer?
Oh yeah. Go to your favorite streaming service and search Max Oakland and then listen to my music.
Max Oakland, check it out.
Oh yeah, May 3rd. No,
Yeah, it's May 12th.
It
I
is May
remember.
12th.
Did you ever listen to that song on May 3rd?
I had too many things going on May 3rd to think about anything other than.
You don't have to explain.
You asked.
Yeah, but you don't have to explain, like, as if you're obligated to justify not listening to something.
I'm going to listen to it tonight. That's my game.
Okay, that's great. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks. I hope you all have a lovely evening.
I hope
Skunky.
you all have a lovely evening too.
I hope you all have a lovely evening 3.
Have a lovely evening, everybody.
Have a lovely evening.
As well, also.
That was sure. Thank you for coming down. That was sure. Thank you for sticking around. Hope you had some fun, but now the show's done. So go on, get out of the